and welcome to the first session in the Unitas Digital Excellence Academy. My name is John Kinney, Sales and Marketing Director. I'm very pleased to welcome you today to this inaugural event, delivered in partnership with Lumina Intelligence. Thank you for giving up an hour of your time for what I hope will be a valuable session. This first webinar is specifically designed for our Retail Plus members and will focus on websites and apps, providing you with some key insights and learnings to maximize your digital platforms by understanding your customers' behaviors. We'll be sharing best practice from across the wholesale channel. And importantly, we'll provide you with the tools to take back to your business so you can assess your own capabilities and put into practice some of the learnings we'll be sharing today. Before I hand over to Jill Livesey, I'd like to say a genuine thank you to all our sponsors. You can see their names on the slide. Without their support, we would not have been able to host this event, so thank you very much. So that's it for me at this point. I'll hand over now to Jill and I'll be back at the end of the webinar. Thank you again for joining, and I do hope you enjoy this first session. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Jill Livesey, Managing Director at Lumina Intelligence. We are so pleased to see Unitas launch the Digital Excellence Academy. We have partnered with Unitas to share our expertise in operator behaviour across the wholesale digital channel. And we're looking forward to supporting members with market-leading insight to drive future strategy. The session today will add value and help build resilience to your business. This isn't a one-off event, it's a partnership. We are here to support your digital strategy with a set of tools to support your e-commerce offer. The three main objectives of the Digital Excellence Academy are: 1, measuring our collective strengths and development needs to form action plans, to support you to make informed decisions on digital development, and thirdly, share knowledge and best practice. We think Unitas have been progressive with their digital strategy. This is a unique resource available to members of this group. The programme starts today and is an ongoing series of events and tours, workshop and tailored advice. So let's get going. I'd now like to introduce you to one of our team, Head of Insight, Lonnie Wist, who is your host for today. Enjoy the day.
Good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome to today's event. Over the next 45 minutes, we will cover some really valuable content for everyone who has an interest in e-commerce and digital development. Let me start by taking you through the agenda for the remainder of today's event. Today, we'll cover the most important questions, such as what do operators want from a wholesaler e-commerce platform? How do Unitas members measure up to the competition? What is best practice and how can this be achieved? And the premise of the Digital Excellence Academy. What tools are available to support you? Everyone has had their camera and microphone turned off by default, so no need to worry about that. However, if you would like to submit any questions throughout today's event, there is a special Q&A function on your screen where you can type in any questions. Questions will be followed up with answers in the next few days. The whole point of setting up the Digital Excellence Academy is to create an ongoing platform for digital support and development. As Jill said, this is not a one-off event, but just the start of our digital journey together. Towards the end of today's session, you'll hear more about the support that's available to you, how to access this, and how we will be measuring and celebrating our joint successes. So, where do we start? You've already heard about how digital excellence needs to be at the forefront of your minds as we head into 2021. But what does digital excellence actually mean? In this section, we will look at the importance of digital excellence, what it means for your retail customers, and key considerations for you and your business to improve user experience, create long-term customer loyalty and advocacy and increase digital sales. UK Wholesale has some of the highest rates of online ordering. The grocery market might have got excited when online orders got towards the 20% mark in last year's lockdown, but the retail-led wholesale sector has been above this level for some time now. Adoption of online ordering continues to grow. 96% of delivered customers place their order online. This means that online needs to be efficient and provide a smooth experience. And this experience must translate to all different platforms, not just the basic desktop website. Across 2020, almost half of delivered orders were made using a mobile or tablet device. And that's why our digital health checks, which we'll cover later, cover both desktop and mobile optimized websites. Alongside customer demand, there is a strong financial rationale for stepping up your digital presence. Orders placed online are typically almost 3 times the size of average purchases made in depot. Clearly, there is a cost associated with fulfillment and delivery, but with an efficient and effective digital platform, there is the opportunity to grow basket size even further, as well as understand and engage customers in ways not possible in the depot environment. You might think that online orders are few and far between, and cash and carry trips are more frequent. Our data actually suggests that the visit frequency is relatively similar at around 3 times per week. But online orders have been increasing in frequency over the last few years as more and more customers move online. So why are online orders so much more high value than depot transactions? It might be obvious, but online orders which are delivered are much more likely to be a main shop or full replenishment missions. They're more routine and planned and lend themselves to the online model. Customers with high expectations and on this online shopping mission. And there are more products being purchased, which can mean more time needed to compile orders, a higher risk of out of stock, and a risk of consumers not being able to find and locate products. For this, we need to ensure proper functionality is established to cater for this mission. For example, favorites and historical orders, which will make it far easier for retail customers to reorder the stock that's selling through their stores. Wholesalers should be aware that Sunday to Tuesday are the most common times to make purchases online. And this is due to the need to replenish stock after the busy weekend trading days. However, not every non-transactional session is spent building a basket. In fact, 31% of sessions contain an add to cart event. For every purchase, there's a second session that's spent building a basket. Customers are online frequently and not always in the transactional mindset. Now, this means that more often than not, sessions are around information gathering and admin. From Sunday to Tuesday, retailers are concentrating on sessions and transactions and ordering. However, after that busy period, we're seeing more browsing activity across the remainder of the week as customers are online but not placing as many orders. Now, this chart shows the click-through rate, which is commonly abbreviated to CTA, for online adverts during different days of the week. Now, you'll notice that retailers are more likely to be clicking on adverts on days that orders are typically lower. Adverts placed on Wednesdays place the highest chance of being opened or clicked, and perhaps as retailers are planning their next shop. Now, this is the best time to communicate MPD and best offers. Ideally, you'll be able to rotate adverts frequently to avoid overexposure. The approach to adverts, often called media, should be dynamic and targeted rather than static advertising that just sits on sites for months at a time and becomes wallpaper to customers. When partnering with a website provider, you should ask about their ability to run dynamic media and how easy it is to monitor clicks on these adverts to enable you to measure effectiveness. Although transactional sessions peak at 9 a.m., retailers are still online throughout the day. Now, they're likely building baskets, checking prices and ongoing promotions, and also browsing. Adverts with a clear and urgent transactional call to action, such as add to basket, should be placed before 9 a.m. while retailers are still in purchasing mode. But more NPD-focused adverts are suitable throughout the remainder of the day when customers are more likely to be researching. With a high number of sessions with no basket building, your website should ensure that non-transactional pages contain relevant information and are fully functional. Category advice pages and NPD pages should be easy to find and regularly updated to encourage retailers to stay on site and explore these important sections while browsing. Retail customers are increasingly turning to online portals for advice on COVID restrictions, NPD, and category ranges, particularly since fewer supply reps have been able to visit stores. Unitas members have the significant advantage of the Plan for Profit scheme, which should be embraced as it's a great way to drive repeat traffic back to the site for reasons other than product ordering. This is also a really great way to set yourself apart from the competition. But at the same time, we need to remember the real basics of the online offer. Ensuring customers can locate your website via top search engines and that it contains all of the simple information they would expect to find at a glance. The majority of traffic on your website will have arrived via search engines such as Google. And when we look at customer signups, this increases to around 90%. It is vital to have all the info available to potential customers to encourage engagement, including website links, clickable phone numbers, opening hours, and reviews. It's important to know that it's not Google responsible for doing this, it's the business owner. You'll find top tips on how to do this in the top tip packs, which you'll receive from us. Google and other search engines are an extension of your brochures, booklets, and sales and marketing activity. So make sure you're taking full advantage of this free advertising. On your site itself, you should replicate the same contact details and opening hours, but also clear sign-up options for marketing and newsletters, as well as links to social media accounts, FAQ sections, and very importantly, a clear and easy pathway for new customers to sign up. So what are the priorities of retail customers once they've found themselves on your website, ready to start shopping? So firstly, your website needs to be efficient to allow a smooth ordering process. We can make products easier to find by using filters, clear category titles, and hierarchy, which is often called taxonomy. Clear and simple calls to action, such as tools like favorites, history, functions, will also make it easy to build the online basket. Add to basket options like barcode scanners really help with time efficiency for the largest orders, but we'll go through all of this in more detail in the following slides. Secondly, in order to showcase the depth and breadth of the range on offer, taxonomy is key. Now, this is the system that's used to classify categories and products and should be intuitive and easy to navigate. Easier said than done, and suppliers are often the best port of call for expertise on their individual categories. Additionally, sorting functions and filters should be easy to see and allow customers to narrow down their search. Finally, to highlight product quality, images should be clear and high quality, preferably on a white background. On screen are some of the most frequently overheard gripes about wholesaler websites, all of which create friction and waste valuable time. one of the most precious commodities, particularly in the current climate, is time. So some of these are easier to fix than others, but you can probably understand how each of these can lead to retailer frustrations and may cause your customer to look elsewhere. The top 3 customer frustrations expressed by retailers link back to easy ordering being the most important factor. There can be a number of reasons why a website is running slowly. Some of these should be within your control, such as badly written code or a large number of non-optimized images. Some reasons may well be out of your control, such as the internet speed of your customer's connection. You should look to manage the points within your control and work with your website developer to ensure that it's optimized to run at the fastest possible speeds. Every year, search engines pay more attention to the speed of websites in order to build search rankings, so there's a definite ROI to ensuring you address any problems here. Difficulty finding items will create friction with customers, and although there's no silver bullet, there are a number of tips we will take you through to make sure the process is simplified as much as possible. And missing images cause customer confusion over specific product variants or pack sizes, and it's something that we should be working really hard to avoid in any circumstance. Suppliers should be held to account for providing up-to-date, high-quality images for all their products, and especially new products and products with many variants. So how do we improve the user experience and give customers time back in order to buy more products, browse promotions, or download category advice? So here are 3 ways to help customers search for products more effectively. Number 1, provide search suggestions to help retailers easily locate the products they're looking for, such as in the example on the left of screen here. Make sure that you include this in the spec for any website upgrades. Not all website functionality is the same. When considering search functionality, remember that retailers make searches in a very different way to customers. Most searches are brand names or product variants, as opposed to consumer searches, which tend to be much more category-led. So whilst a consumer might search for chocolate biscuits, a retailer is much more likely to search for milk choc hobnobs PMP. And number 2, including product type markers helps retailers easily identify which products they would like to add to basket from their search. As a minimum, you should have markers available for items on promotion, bestsellers, high POR, and MPD, just to draw attention to the items and encourage purchase. And number 3, null result messaging and suggestions really help retailers find products where incorrect items were entered or no products were exactly matched. Again, make sure that you ask your developer to make sure the search function can deal effectively with null results. For customers wanting to browse the site, some will use navigation tools rather than the search function. Therefore, it's really important that these menus are simple to navigate and laid out in an intuitive manner. We can improve the customer experience online by making the path to purchase as clear and easy as possible through creating easy to locate categories in retailer-friendly language so that customers can quickly locate the products that they're looking for. This example from DB's on the left also provides the customer with options to view groupings such as promotions, seasonal, own label, and core range. And that does is it brings together products across multiple categories under a single theme, a form of customer-centric dual sitting that would be almost impossible to execute in a depot environment. And secondly, simple filters to help narrow down searches within broad categories. For example, a customer looking at products within the confectionery category may only wish to look at price mark packs or non-price mark SKUs. It's worth noting here that retailers will search for and navigate products in a very different way to a typical consumer. Filters need to be B2B focused and incorporate criteria that form part of retailer decision making. There are some really great examples in the middle image, again taken from the DB site. And thirdly, clear images are essential, perhaps using hero images where available and appropriate. Image style should be consistent across categories with accurate descriptions so that customers can easily identify specific products, brands, and pack sizes. Clear add to basket call to action buttons also create an easy ordering process and the ability to order quantities with a plus minus quantity option. Over the last few years, we have seen big increases in the adoption and usage of more advanced order methods such as favorites and barcode scanning. Now, these tools create a fast and easy ordering process for retailers. Adding basket items from favorites, frequently ordered, or last order section really help those on a main shop mission. Now, despite favorites being a mainstay of consumer sites, many wholesale sites still haven't fully embraced this functionality. Barcode scanners are the most common add to cart method on app, and they're used in 44% of orders. Now, usage of the barcode scanning system generates orders 1.6 times larger than average, driven by speed, ease of compiling baskets. So where you have both app and web platforms, it's important that the two are integrated so that customers are able to build their bigger baskets using the barcode scanner on the app and then browse any further products and process their payment on the desktop site. You should speak to your web developer about the best way to incorporate these ordering tools. And finally, we'd like to talk about promotional content or media. Online ads can really help highlight range and also increase revenue through advertising space sales. Offering personalized and real-time offers is an effective way of maximizing web sales. Offering promotions based on previous search and purchase history of retailers is an important way to build customer loyalty and drive sales. So here are some of our top tips. Firstly, call to actions should be clearly visible. For example, using a distinct and different color and easy to follow. Add to basket is the most effective call to action, or at the very least, the button should link directly to the relevant page that showcases the range. Ads should have a clear and relevant message. Good use of color, again, clear call to actions. Remember that online media should complement in-depot activity. And the role of media isn't only to create on-the-spot purchasing. Next, efficient layout. So don't clutter the page, and more ads definitely doesn't mean more clicks. Instead, ads should be personalized either to the customer, for example, frequently bought items, customer location or type of outlet, or to the search as shown in the example of Chris search on the DBs, which brings up a Pringles advert. This, again, is a functionality you should speak to your web developer about. And apps provide a really great opportunity for personalization. And the rule of the game is quality over quantity or frequency. Now, the more media on a page, the lower the click-through rate. So consider rich push notifications on app for more engaging and informative media. So to summarize what we've discussed so far, and before we move on to the results of our audits, we have distilled this into 4 summary points. So number 1, remember the basics. These are often free things. Make sure all of your details are complete on Google and the basic data customers need is available clearly on your website. It's accurate and regularly updated. Number 2, remember to lean on your web developers for support. Much of what we've talked about today so far should not involve manual work, but be automated within your web platform. Make sure you're getting the developers and the platform to do the heavy lifting. And the third point is to remember that the objective of each and every action should be to make your life easier for your customers. So save them valuable time and they will reward you with loyalty and bigger baskets. And finally, remember that websites aren't just for placing orders. They should be a one-stop shop for all customer needs, whether that's admin queries such as invoicing, category advice, or price comparisons. In this section, we will dive into the objective analysis of website performance and look at how we, as a Unitas group, measure up against major competitors from a digital perspective. Over the last couple of months, we have undertaken a number of comprehensive digital audits of Unitas members' sites and conducted the same analysis on the competitors. We've looked at Bestway and Booker, just to name a couple. So over the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll provide you with the summary findings of these audits and let you know how you can take advantage of this digital support for your own business. The audits, called digital health checks, are conducted by a specialist team within the Lumina Intelligence business and comprise of 8 sections, which you can see on the left-hand side of the table within the slide on screen. Each section has a number of checkpoints, which are counted as either positive, negative, or not applicable across both web and app platforms where they're both available. In the subsequent slides, we will go into depth on each section and present you with the Unitas group performance relative to the competition, but also show you what best in class looks like and simple tips that you can incorporate into your digital proposition if not already available. So what are the headline findings? Well, within Unitas, we are good at executing the basics. Inbound search scores are highest with strong scores also within contact and engagement section. Where we're not so strong is within the product areas, specifically product search and product detail, and we'll look into this a little further. We can also see our performance falling behind the competition in some of the more advanced digital areas, such as purchasing tools, promotional content, and category taxonomy and page display. We'll explain what each of these terms mean, so don't worry if you're not familiar with any of the terminology now. On the subject of category optimization, the team at Unitas have secured support from leading suppliers within the major categories to give specific advice and support you in this area. So let's start with areas of strength. We've already discussed the importance of getting the basics right, and the Unitas members we audited were well ahead of the competition when it came to inbound brand search. This refers to customers being able to find the website and important business details when using search engines such as Google. Now, there are 2 important elements needed to achieve top scores in our inbound brand search selection. Firstly, position 1 in Google search rankings. This is shown when searching Agrimark in Google's search bar. The first and second results are direct links to the Agrimark homepage, which is perfect. So Google is pretty good at doing this itself, as you can imagine, but it's still worth checking for your business names and other keywords to see where you rank on Google searches. Secondly, comprehensive knowledge box information. Again, demonstrated by Agrimark, who actually scored 100%. So this is things like logo, phone number, website link, opening hours, and social media links, as well as descriptive text, photos, and positive reviews. And reviews are becoming increasingly important as we all look for the so-called social proof. So encourage your happy customers to leave reviews for you, and don't panic if you get a bad review. Simply respond calmly and professionally. Everyone understands that things go wrong sometimes, but like to see businesses respond positively. When it comes to our contact and engagement section, the Unitas Group score was slightly above average and broadly in line with the competition. When we talk about contact and engagement, we mean using all of the online tools available to you to engage with your customers and make sure you are available at the click of a button. So what you need to do to score top marks on contact and engagement is the following. Firstly, contact information needs to be complete and accurate. So you should look to provide multiple ways for customers to get in touch, such as clear and obviously positioned email addresses, click to call phone numbers, live chat functionality, FAQs, with all details summarized on a separate Contact Us page. In the example on screen, Matthew Clark provide clickable email addresses, chat functionality, and HQ address and phone numbers, all from their Contact Us page. Now, throughout this section, you'll see that we use some best-in-class examples from wholesalers in slightly different markets, such as food service or on-trade, such as Matthew Clark, where it's relevant and it really shows the best-in-class examples. Business information, such as address and opening hours, are important to display prominently on the homepage. DB provide opening hours and contact numbers for multiple locations from the homepage and include head office address details in the footer. The details for each depot are clickable and take you to the Contact Us page with full details and an embedded Google map showing exact location. There's also an image of the depot manager and contact details for him or her, which is a nice personal touch. And clickable social media links to keep customers up to date is critical. And this is particularly important at the moment with things changing weekly or even daily. Social media is a great way to keep your customers updated with the latest information. That's demonstrated nicely here by Le Monde Foods, who are a Unitas food service member. And finally, a clear new customer sign-up pathway specific. For example, a new customer page. Clear calls to action and benefits to becoming a customer need to be highlighted. Matthew Clark show a good example of a clear open an account page and includes benefits of joining, clear call to action from the homepage, and actually all pages, in fact, and help features for any trouble throughout the process. As new customers are less likely to be familiar with your website, make sure these pages or pathways are clearly signposted and easy to find. Now, the layout of your website or app needs to be intuitive so that even people who are using it for the first time are easily able to find their way around. Category layout, which is referred to as taxonomy, can be very complicated, with categories being split in multiple subcategories made up of hundreds, if not thousands, of brands and product variants. Now, the secret is trying to simply tie the hierarchy into the kind of thought process a retailer would use to find a product. Category taxonomy is an area where Unitas score behind the competition, so it's important that we get this right. We would also advise engaging with supplier sponsors who should be experts in their respective categories. It might make sense to try and create a joined-up approach to category taxonomy across the group. What exactly are we looking for? So it should have clear navigation. DB have categories clearly laid out on the side panel, while Bestway position theirs clearly along the top menu panel. Best practice is to have a master menu across the top which then drills down into menu options on the left-hand side when a particular category is then selected. We also recommend breadcrumb navigation, which is where your path to a particular page is marked out within the individual steps that you've taken, so that you can retrace your steps if needed. And both these examples also show clear top-level categories for main groups, including soft drinks, confectionery, BWS, and tobacco. The DB website actually goes a step further than Best Way by offering product type filtering, including by NPD, PMPs, promotional lines, which help the customer narrow down their search even further. When customers have located the right category or product page, it needs to be a simple process to identify the right items to add to basket. We process image much faster when images are used rather than written as text. And that's how we process information most quickly. So that's why it's so important that images used on websites and apps are of the highest possible quality, they're accurate and up to date, and that information is clearly signposted. Again, this is an area for improvement across the Unitas group, and perhaps there is an opportunity here as well to work together and share best practice and ensure consistency. We would advise focusing on 2 points when considering whether your category pages can be improved. Both clear, high-res images, which are key to giving customer confidence of a quality of a product and service. White-on-white images can sometimes be lost in the background, so further attention is required with these images to ensure that they stand out. Also, product type markers help create a clear and easy user experience, as customers can easily identify which products are right for them. For example, core range, offers, and PMPs. This is shown by DB. Now, accurate and complete product detail is essential to help customers know more about the items that they're buying and creating a smooth, clear, and efficient user experience. Provided this information in a simple, clear, and visually attractive format will also give customers confidence in selecting new items and NPD. With new items where there is a higher perceived risk or ordering for the first time is less sure than buying something in depot, we need to provide the same virtual experience that retailers would get in depot or store, where they can pick up the product, instantly see case size, pack size, pricing, and so on. And this is an area where Unitas could improve. And it was by far the lowest score across the 8 criteria and fell behind the competitive benchmark. So what we're looking for here, one element is a clear product description. So this is shown by this example from Best Way. It's high-res, up-to-date images of both SKU and case. It's got clear size and weight, the RSP, the POR available, product code, and also detailed manufacturer ingredients and nutrition. So product details need call to actions, known shorthand as CTAs. Now these are the actions that we want people to take, which we normally make possible through clickable buttons or icons. In this example, breaks show clear add to basket CTAs, as well as functionality to increase or decrease order quantity from the product page. And best-in-class detail makes excellent use of favorites. Breaks also include add to favorites buttons and promotional markers, and that creates an easy process for returning customers. Now, product search is a second area where Unitas scored below average and behind the competition. The search function is an absolutely vital tool for customers, and it's essential in creating a good overall user experience, as we've mentioned. Now, retailers behaved very differently to consumers when using search to compile online baskets. On apps, retailers are much more likely to be using the barcode scanner where available. However, on desktop sites, many retailers will be searching for individual items on their shopping list and adding to their basket. Therefore, search items, search terms are very, very specific. So normally using a brand name and often pack format or variant, and it's very important that each search returns the right result, or at least gets the retailer closer to locating the item that's required. So there are three things that we're looking for when it comes to search functionality on websites or apps. Now, firstly, search suggestions help customers easily view products and select what they're looking for. The example here is from Agrimark's website, where a search for Kellogg's brings up a range of suggested SKUs. The suggestions should ideally be ranked by order of bestsellers to give the best chance for the retailer to make the right selection. Next, relevant filters. So these really help customers efficiently narrow down searches to view and find products of interest, and particularly within broad categories, for example, soft drinks. DB's has some advanced filters and options that are very specific to retailers, such as the option to filter by products within a certain range or RRP, products within PMP Flash or core product range. And lastly, product type markers. For example, promotion, special offers, bestsellers, MPD, and high POR can all be very useful and help customers easily select the right products for them. This example is from Bestway, who are very good at providing clear and simple signposting for criteria on their product images. We all know promotions are a critical part of the offer within Wholesale. In a depot environment, we've established methods of making promotions stand out and disrupt the customer journey. Online, it can often be harder to create this sort of cut through. The Unitas score for promotional content is above average, but it falls behind the competitive set, where there are some strong examples of online promotional execution. So what can we learn from this? We pulled out three key considerations for promotional content. A specific dedicated promotions page or section is essential. Now, this is highlighted in three different ways by these wholesalers. DB have a clear promotion section called out on the left-hand panel, Agrimark within the main menu options, and Bestway as a standout button that's highlighted in red on the top left, where customers will often look first on the page. Also, relevant ads. So it's important to show customers adverts that reach them at the relevant moment of their shopping journey. For example, adverts for cleaning products when the customer is searching for confectionery isn't likely to attract the customer to click through. The Bestway example here shows crisps advertised on the crisps and snacks category page as it should be. Simple messaging is key to engaging customers. Too many ads or too many pop-ups or flashing images could deter customers. This DB example shows a good number of ads per page, which is 2. Now, these ads are relevant to the category. However, they contain no call to actions. The Bestway example below shows a buy now call to action to further encourage his purchases on this promotion. Now, in the previous section, we discussed how certain purchasing tools can generate bigger baskets and average order values by making it easier for the customer to add multiple products in a short space of time. Now, this is an area where Unitas has some ground to make up on the competition. And there are two main purchasing tools which are used to create bulk orders. Now, one key purchasing tool is the favorites and order again or quick order. So creating these product lists is a really great way for customers to easily access commonly purchased items. Agrimark position this clearly on the main menu panel. The functionality should allow customers to add items from these sections, either as individual items or in bulk. When an item on these lists is out or out of stock or unavailable in some way, ideally an alternative should be presented to the customer. Now, barcode scanners are increasingly used to scan many items in the shop in a short space of time. And it's pretty easy to see how this is such a popular option for retailers who don't have time to sit behind a screen of a computer. Now, the example here is from the Bestway app. And for this functionality to work effectively, ideally your app and desktop sites work off the same platform so that a customer can build their basket using the efficient barcode scanner on the app and then complete payment at a later date on their computer. This isn't always the case, so you should speak to your web developer about how to set this up. So hopefully you have found these insights and top tips interesting and useful. But what happens next? Well, as we've mentioned, the Digital Excellence Academy has been set up to provide support to each and every member. Now let's just revisit the objectives that Jill talked about in the beginning of the session. We've hopefully provided you with lots to think about today, but we want to tailor the support and recommendations to your individual businesses. Now, through our digital health checks, which are available to all members, we'll be able to give you an objective assessment of the strengths and weaknesses of your e-commerce platforms and a prioritized action plan to allow you to make informed investment decisions where required. Collectively, we'll be able to identify some common themes across the group and leverage the shared knowledge and best practice. John Kinney will be back in a few minutes to talk about how we will take this forwards. Now, in collaboration with our supplier sponsors, every member on this call will have already received a top tips pack, which is full of actionable advice across the 8 areas we discussed today. So don't worry if you didn't have time to make notes. 3 packs will be packed full of practical advice and best practice examples. Each of the supplier sponsors have also kindly contributed top tips which are specific to their categories, which will allow you to optimize these important sections. Many of the suppliers have also included contact information if you wish to follow up with any of them directly about any category opportunities. We would really recommend that you consider a digital health check on your business. You've seen some of the output of these health checks already today, and we've received great feedback from those who have been involved already. There are 2 options available to you, gold or silver standards. With the gold option, our digital experts at Lumina Intelligence will do all the work for you. All we'll need is a login to your web and app platforms, where both are used, and we'll conduct the full personalized audit complete with scores, commentary, and recommendations. You'll be sent a report, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have on what you read. There's a cost of £1,000 for these detailed reports. Now, the silver standard is a self-audit option using our customer-built app-based tool. We cover all of the same criteria, and you'll receive a report card with scores summarized by section. There's no cost to the service for members, and you can use the service multiple times if you'd like to measure and track progress. Now, in a second, I'm going to pass back to John to wrap up. But first, I wanted to let you know how you can register your interest for either a full digital health check or the self-complete option. Your point of contact is Aaron Green, who most of you will know well. Now, Aaron's details are on the screen now, and if you would like more information or to put down your name for either gold or silver standard health checks, then please contact Aaron. But we have some very exciting news. Unitas will be making 20 health checks free of charge to members. All you need to do is email Aaron within the next week, so by lunchtime on the 9th of February. And for all members who registered interest, 20 will be drawn at random to receive the gold standard report absolutely free. So really, why not do it straight after this event? It's been a pleasure to be with you all today and launch the Digital Excellence Academy. And we look forward to working with you all in the coming weeks, months, and years. So goodbye from me, and I'm going to hand you back over to John.
Okay, well, thanks again for your time today. I hope you did find it beneficial. And please do take advantage of the material we are providing so you can conduct your own reviews on your platforms. And please do take us up on the opportunity of the health checks conducted by Lumina. We are providing 20 free of charge, so please submit your requests via an email to Aaron Green. This was the first session, and the next module will be focusing on the important area of social media. So please look out for that invite in the near future. So thanks again to Lumina for hosting today's webinar. Thanks again for our sponsors, and thank you our members for attending. Bye for now.